Hello, this is John Ramsey, and this is my big comeback. I have a very special guest. Tricia Berry is with me today, and I've known Tricia for a long time, and I think she's a very interesting person. I was telling her before we even started today that I love to hear about their travel and stuff, but we'll come back to that in a little bit. But just tell me about some of the things you're involved in here in Bay County and Panama City, Tricia.
In Bay County, in the Panhandle, I would say that for most people, they probably think I'm a little bit of an enigma.
Yeah.
A little bit of a mysterious person. What do you do, Tricia? And I will say that I do a lot of things. Yeah. And they all kind of fall back to one theme, and it's helping people.
Yeah.
So I serve on boards, whether I'm appointed at a state level or asked to serve locally. I serve on a lot of boards. I love supporting our college. It's doing so well.
Yeah.
I also serve on the development board for FSUPC. Love watching that grow. We have such a healthy relationship between FSUPC and Gulf Coast State College. Boys and Girls Club. I fill in when I can on that board, because why would you not? Children in our community, they need somewhere to go after school. And there are increments of time that I can, I guess, help with ideas and things like that.
Yeah.
And the Chamber of Commerce, that's another big one that takes up some time. But
you're on the Military Affairs Committee still?
I am.
Yeah.
Government Affairs Committee. Yeah. Probably most importantly right now is serving as a leader on the executive board.
Yeah.
So I will rotate into that chair position of the board in a couple of years.
That's great.
So I enjoy connecting our local civic leaders with our political leaders, whether it's national, local, or state, with our business community.
That's
because
wonderful.
If we don't have those connections, then the business community is not going to do as well as they could.
Yeah.
And our state leaders and our national leaders, they're not going to know what our business leaders need.
They're going to not know what we're doing, what we need. And
so ultimately, I say I'm a community connector, because I connect people.
Well, you definitely are. And
that's a few things.
I see you at all kind of things. And you're always busy, always busy. Tell me about this FSU hospital and all. I mean, how closely is that working with our Panama City campus, or is that more from the Tallahassee campus? Is it a learning hospital as far as?
It should be, and while I'm not serving on that board,
yet.
If I'm needed, I'll be happy to answer the call. I rarely say no. Probably shouldn't advertise that, but I don't say no usually, because it leads to something great. But I do know this. I do know that it is a brilliant idea to put what I'll call a teaching hospital in that area.
How fortunate are we to have something like that? That's tremendous.
Tremendous. And it reminds me of my time when Eric and I lived in Alachua County. Gainesville itself isn't that big of a place. And in the late 90s, early 2000s, and then before that, there were 4 hospitals in Alachua County.
Wow.
So if you think about, we already have a great hospital in Gulf Coast. We have a great hospital in Ascension Sacred Heart Bay. Why do we need this 3rd hospital? And I'll tell you that we do.
We do.
Gainesville had the VA hospital. They had North Florida Regional, Alachua General, and then Big Shands.
Well, and what I find is they all develop their specialties.
They do.
And they pour a lot of money and a lot of research into that. Mm-hmm. And it's just great. I mean, the more hospitals, the better. Plus, Walton County is growing so much. Yes. Being on that side of Bay County will be very helpful to that area.
Think about Margaritaville.
Oh, I know.
How many people are living, how many thousands of people are living in that pocket? And we want them to continue coming. Yeah. We want them to come to Washington County. We want to build community. And so when we do that, we also have to provide as a community things that are necessary. And that includes medicine, but not just any medicine, good medicine.
Well, and one of the first things people look at when they're talking about retiring is medical care and medical facilities in the area.
That's right.
I mean, the old joke of Florida being God's waiting room. I mean, that's funny, but there's a little bit of truth to it. Mm-hmm. We have a big senior population.
We do.
And that's good.
And I'm glad that we
do. We do.
I mean, we have so much to learn from all ages of people. And I hope we get to talk about it more in a little bit, but history is so important for any age, and we have so much to learn from whether you're a business owner or a healthcare professional or an educator. We have so much to learn from our seniors, and they have a lot to teach us. Things that worked, things that didn't work.
Well, let's talk about your history just a minute. So you born in this area, you're from here.
So my husband and I are both from Chipley.
Chipley.
We met in the hallways outside of Mr. Collins' chemistry classroom at Chipley High School.
Chipley High School.
September 1993. Here comes this tall, slender, dark-haired teenager boy, and I smiled and kept walking. And from that point forward,
that's
moving on.
So both of your families are from Chipley?
We are.
Yeah.
And that's actually why we are in Panama City.
Yeah.
So Eric was 2 years older. We both went to Chipola Junior College, as it was back then, in Marianna, drove back and forth, And then he went to University of Florida. So then I went to the University of Florida. But my mom reminds me I didn't just follow a boy. I really did go because in the 90s, during that time, the University of Florida was best known for its medicine.
Yeah.
And so I'm a nurse practitioner. Eric went to dental school.
Yeah.
And
has Panhandle Pediatric Dentistry.
Yes. So
and y'all have several locations, don't you?
We do. We're stretched out through the Panhandle. We are currently building our 8th office.
8?
We do.
I did not know that. 8?
Yes.
Where are they at?
So we currently, so sometimes in the past we've built an office to replace another office.
Yeah.
Right. So we have 4 offices, Fort Walton Beach, Niceville, Santa Rosa Beach, and here on 23rd Street in Panama City.
That is fantastic.
And then we have a call center because we don't like to farm things out. We like to keep things very family friendly. We like to help parents when they make their phone call. So we formed our own call center. Yeah. And our team at the call center they do a great job.
That's great. That's great. That keeps you all busy too.
We're busy.
I don't know how you wear so many hats. You all are busy.
We are busy.
You are busy.
But in all good ways. Truly in all good ways.
Absolutely. So when you left Chipley and you went to Chipola and then ultimately Gainesville, and then right from Gainesville, did y'all come back to the Panhandle then? Or
we
come
did
back
not.
to Panama City?
So when I finished the nurse practitioner program, I worked in the medical ICU. On the evening shift, I learned a lot of empathy and sympathy because the MICU at Shands is where a lot of the rare diseases were. People would they would be brought there and they would pass away. They would withdraw care during the day shift, and usually people would pass away on my evening shift from 3 to 11. And I learned so much during that short period of time working in the medical ICU. I also worked in family practice. And then from there, I missed the hospital world. Yeah. So I came back to Shands and I worked in the burn ICU. And the burn ICU changed my world when it comes to my career. And I was very young. I had a lot of responsibility. I had an attending who was very busy. He was in the OR quite a bit. And it was my role to lead nurses who were double my age and to keep people alive. And I learned so much. It was also my role to teach residents the importance of burn care. The residents would pass through every 30 days on a rotation. Wow. And I grew up really fast.
I guess so.
In the burn unit. I was 25, up to 30
dealing with a lot
old.
of tragedy, a lot of tragedy, a lot of needs that are a lot of stuff going on there.
So I would receive them in the emergency room, watch them come to our ICU. Watch our amazing nursing staff do their job, help to lead shoulder to shoulder with them. Yeah. I think that it's important to remind people that when you are a leader, you really can't step ahead of your comrades. No. You truly have to be shoulder to shoulder with them, or your leadership is not going to be nearly as good. Yeah. And so, the burn unit would somehow put people back together, and then I would track them through the step-down unit on the trauma floor, and then also in the outpatient setting. And so I saw the full gamut of, the awfulness of having a burn injury, but still what life can be after such a horrible thing. Yeah. After that time, I had to move away. I did not want to, but Eric took a job in Orlando. Oh. It was a wonderful job for him. It was in Maitland. pediatric dentist, and so I went to Orlando and worked at Orlando Regional Medical Center. It's a level 1 trauma center in that part, just like Shan's was.
Yeah, yeah.
North.
How'd you like Orlando?
I liked it.
Really?
Yeah, and I'll say that anywhere that I'm going to be, I'm going to bloom.
You're going to bloom.
So
That's good.
You
That's
tell
good.
me to go somewhere,
That's
and I'll
good.
figure out how to like it. But I truly did enjoy it. I worked in orthopedic trauma surgery there. So I took all of my wound care and burn experience,
Yeah.
and we had a lot of traumatic. You can imagine,
Okay. Goodness, yeah.
The I-4 corridor,
Yeah.
and Turnpike, and so trauma orthopedic surgery was another big job.
I mean, you've really got to have a heart for it because it is an emotional, stressful. I mean, it's a lot going on. That's a lot.
And so for me, the person that and the people here in Bay County, they think they know Tricia, and I had this whole nother world before landing in Bay County, and it made me who I am now in Bay County.
Yeah.
I can stay pretty cool under pressure, and it's because of the things that I did.
Yeah.
And those intense.
That is a high pressure job.
The high pressure, and you can't delay.
Yeah.
A lot of these decisions in the hospital setting, you need to make certain that you don't forget you're dealing with human beings and families, and that they need communication.
Yeah.
They don't need to be left in the dark. They also need to be cared for just as much as their patient does, their loved one does.
Oh, yeah.
But you got to push that aside to really think, take the whole look of the patient in and deal with what's about to happen, and then stay focused on that and just stick with it.
Yeah.
I've run too many codes in helping to save people to now not get nervous here in Bay County with what I do here.
And Shands is such a big place with, I mean, when I think of, I try to wrap my head around what their real specialty is, I mean, they do so much.
Yeah. It's a great place.
I mean, they do so much. I mean, it is one of the premier hospitals in the entire South.
It is, and I left in 2007, so I have a lot of respect for Shands, even though I've been gone since 2007.
And can you imagine the new FSU hospital becoming a place like that? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I know it takes time.
It does take time.
It'll take time to build something like that, but I mean, a university has such resources. Mm-hmm. To really build it up and make a specialty hospital and something. I'm really excited about it. I think it's a huge win for our community and all.
And I can tell you that I truly know that Ascension Sacred Heart Bay and Gulf Coast Hospital, they will continue to do their job, and they will continue to be a great hospital too.
They're good hospitals, and I appreciate that. I think we'll just see growth all the way around, and of course that whole area of that side of Bay County and 30A and all of that's just beautiful and just grow and grow and grow.
The secret is out.
It's growing so fast, and I know that for some people they're afraid they're going to lose the whole little secret, like you said, but they are, because it's too beautiful to keep a secret. It's gonna grow like everywhere else. I had heard someone years ago say that the Florida Panhandle is the most underdeveloped beach in the world. I mean, as far as waterfront, salt waterfront, it's the most underdeveloped in the world. That really, there's that everyone, New York, California, everywhere is saying, North Florida. That's where it's like they discovered a new world over here, and there is a lot of room for growth, but it's growing pretty fast, and I think I love the whole 30A area and all that, but it does have a charm that I hope it always is able to keep.
Yeah. They're all great, and they're all unique, and you go as far as the most westward part of our state, by Pensacola, and that's wonderful. And then you focus on what the beaches in Walton County, and they're all unique. And then you come to our Bay County, and it's wonderful too. And I think that's what's unique about the Panhandle is we have so much to offer.
Yes, we do.
We also have a responsibility to keep it healthy.
Yeah.
And and that comes with public policy, and that comes with our legislation, and that comes with education.
Yeah.
Raising our kindergartners the way that that needs to be done. And
there's
a lot of
respect
things.
the area.
That's
and
right.
Know that why it's valuable, why it's so beautiful, and why people want it. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back.
Are you ready to connect your organization with an audience that is eager for inspiration? The My Big Comeback podcast, hosted by John R. Ramsey, shares powerful stories of resilience and redemption, featuring guests who have turned life setbacks into major comebacks. New episodes drop the 1st and 15th of every month. For those interested in being a part of this community, sponsorship opportunities are now available. To learn more, contact Meredith Cobb at meredithcobbhwc@gmail.com. Let's make a big comeback together.
Yes, I'm here with Tricia Berry, and we've been talking about some of the history you've been through and college and what all you're involved in. Who would you say, like when you're thinking of a person that's really been inspirational to you or had a big effect on your life, who would it be?
As far as people goes, I would say that the people that I'm about to name have to do with legacy for
Yeah.
me. I feel a very strong responsibility to continue a legacy of Christian values in the way that I want to see myself live my life based on the people who have come before me. So I would say that moving back one generation would be my mother.
Oh.
And
yeah. What did your mom do? What was she involved in?
She was a teacher.
Yeah.
So she taught biology in 10th grade and anatomy in 12th grade. So she taught my husband and I while we were dating.
That's great.
You can imagine.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah. But she has been through a lot, and as a mother and as a wife, and she just keeps taking the punches and stands right back up. And I learned by watching her.
Yeah.
And she's very strong in her faith, but she's also just a very strong person. Yeah. And she just kept moving forward.
Does she still live in Chipley?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We
That's
see each other
home,
often.
huh?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And then the second person I would say is my grandfather. Lucky for me, I grew up with 3 great grandmothers and all 4 of my grandparents.
Wow, lots of strong women in your life.
That's right. My grandfather is 97 years old. He was born in 1928. And the reason
still with us.
Oh yes,
that's fantastic.
In fact, when I get finished with you, I'll probably call him and tell him all that we talked about today.
That's fantastic.
The reason that he is such an inspiration is, even though he was born in 1928, he has stayed on top of a variety of things. He is ready to talk about sports. He is ready to learn something new with technology.
That's great.
He lives with the phone, and he researches things if he needs to.
If
I have a question, I will ask him. And sometimes Eric will say, "Have you asked your granddad yet?"
Yeah.
Because he knows.
That's sweet.
That's
sweet. Beautiful.
The other thing that I've learned from him is that he makes a point to make everything positive. Because when you're 97 and you can't just go out and mow the grass anymore or go play golf or things like that, you have to look for things to keep you positive. And I have watched him deal with a lot of sadness in his life, and he chooses to keep pushing forward. He chooses to get up in the morning. Yeah. He chooses to contact people on the phone.
That's great.
He chooses to be with people. He leaves the house once a day, usually.
That's great.
And
does he still drive?
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
And so that was his decision. I'll make certain to say that.
Yeah.
He knew that it was time.
Yeah.
And so
good for him.
He gave it up a couple
it's a
of years
hard
ago.
One. That's a really hard one.
And he does require round-the-clock care because he's so afraid of falling.
Yeah.
I'm saying all this to say that he's made a plan for his life.
Yeah.
He's made a plan to safeguard himself. And watching him plan, watching him stay positive, he's so supportive of all of our family. He's very forgiving. I've learned that from him.
Yeah.
I think he's a big inspiration.
I think life teaches us some of that stuff. Yeah. That if we don't forgive people, it just hurts us all, especially us. And I think that I saw that with my dad. My dad passed this last year, and he was just about to celebrate. He's 2 weeks away from his 90th birthday, so he had a good long life. And I saw him soften as he got older and become more forgiving and more, forgive this. He would tell you real quick, just let it go. Just don't hold on to it. I think you learn that in life. That man, you're going to have all kind of ups and downs.
That's right.
And we all need to forgive people.
That's right. And even if you're not able to have reconciliation it's up to you to offer forgiveness.
Absolutely.
And I think there's
Absolutely.
a difference there, but it's a very important difference.
Well, and I heard this, for the biggest part of the word forgive is give. And forgiveness has no debt. If you really forgive them, they don't owe you an apology.
That's
They don't
right.
owe you anything.
That's right.
Forgiveness means
It's
no
one-sided.
debt. No debt. It's not, there's no. I release it.
That's right.
I give the person a full pardon and go on with your life.
That's right.
Because you're carrying them. They're not carrying you.
That's right.
You're carrying them around, and it's just better to let them go. What can you think of a particular something that you went through or something that was your most challenging moment, whether it be school or life or anything
I
like
would
that?
say I have had more challenging moments than anybody would ever realize. But I can say that in seventh grade, I was saved by Jesus Christ. And because of that, I can move forward with all the challenges.
Yeah.
And that was, and I'll never forget being a really good girl
Yeah.
and then being saved. And that truly my life changed moving forward. And so I feel like that things happen and we have to just deal with that as rough as they might have been, and you learn from it and you move on, and that God, for whatever reason, has put each of those things in your life to learn from.
Yes.
And to me, that's where history comes in too.
Yeah.
You learn from the past.
Well, and when someone asked me what does it really mean to be a Christian, and I said, the simple thing is to live as much like Christ as you can. And you realize with looking at the life of Jesus, it's not that he didn't go through anything.
Right.
Went through all kind of stuff, and he handled it different than a lot of times we do, and we need to handle things more like him. That's what me as trying to be a Christian. I'm trying to live as much like Jesus as I can, and that means I've got to forgive people. I've got to turn things loose. I've got to handle adversity. Sometimes I got to walk on water. I mean, there's things that come up. And it's a matter of, it's not saying I'm trying to be perfect. I'm just trying to be like Jesus.
That's right. And I feel so strongly in the plan that Jesus has for my life that when something doesn't go wrong, I actually say, okay, thanks. Because I know that wasn't part of his plan. And I truly believe that. I also feel like that what I've been through, and this is all, before I moved to Panama City, it means that I can be a help or an aid or an empathetic shoulder to cry on to somebody else.
Absolutely.
Because if you're going to go through something, you might as well figure out what you learned and then use that to help other people.
Absolutely.
And a lot of what I do is helping. I love helping people. I love helping organizations. Let's figure it out. But if there's a couple who have had a difficult time having children, Eric and I know what that's like. We have 4 babies in heaven. I use imagery. And
I didn't know that.
That's right. And so I like to picture them sitting on the front porch of heaven, being rocked by 4 of my ancestors.
That's fantastic.
And I use that story because that makes me feel good. But I use that story to tell people that if you're going through infertility, just stick with it. Keep trying. One day, and however that works out, you will be a good parent.
Yes.
And the same thing goes with if there's a teenager or college student who has a parent who was a drug addict, and that is a difficult thing to move forward when you're trying to protect everyone affected by it. And I try to remind those people that your future depends on you.
Yeah.
It does not depend on the person that you've had to experience all the things from their disappointing decisions. And I think that's important too, to remind myself that I can use that to help other people. And while I didn't want to go through that, but I use it. And same thing with suicide awareness. That's why I'm involved in life management.
Really?
I'm on the Life Management Foundation board for a reason. If we can save one life from suicide because of the fundraisers that we're doing, or we're putting, we're shining a light on what life management can do. I say, always answer the phone. Always say, I love you.
Yes.
Always say, I'm here.
That's
always
right.
say, keep trying. That's why.
We
That's
don't
why I'm with
always
life
know what other
management.
people are carrying or going
You
through.
don't. You can look you can look the happiest person
You can.
in the eye that you think is just living a perfect life, and you have no idea what. And that's what I learned.
You have no
I had,
idea.
No, I had a beloved uncle who's been in heaven since 2007 for that reason, and I miss him.
Yeah.
But I
And would have done anything to help him.
would have,
But
I
didn't know.
Yeah, but I'm bringing up these negative things because everybody
truth.
has
Everybody has them.
negativity in their difficult times, and I know that if my one person is watching my podcast today, if I've helped one person, then it's worth
Absolutely. You know, I heard someone say one time that people don't know, we know how much it takes for us to carry our children. We don't know how much it takes for them to carry us.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't realize that the same way that you worry about your kids, are they all right? Are they warm? Did they get something to eat? Your children actually worry about you in much the same way.
Yeah.
Is this bothering Dad? Is Dad okay? Is he upset?
Yeah.
They think about those things. And as parents, sometimes we don't think about them thinking things. One of my favorite books in the world was The Shack. And there's a part in that book where he's talking to his daughter in heaven, or he gets to see her. Somebody, it's been so long since I've read, I can't remember the setting. But anyway, the daughter who was abducted in the book says the one thing she was thinking about, not was I scared or what's going to happen to me or this or that, was, oh no, my dad doesn't know where I'm at. He'll be worried to death. Mm-hmm. He'll be so worried. And it just broke my spirit when I read that, because I realized that you're thinking, all they're thinking about is how scared they are, but they're actually thinking about, how is this going to affect you? And it does. Our children are affected by what affects us. Mm-hmm. And they worry about mom and dad. They're concerned that mom and dad is stressed. They're concerned mom and dad's fighting. They're worried that dad's having trouble at work or mom's having trouble at work. They're worried that it bothers them. It's a two-way street.
And they can pick up on small nuances that we as a parent wouldn't even realize.
We think they're zoned out. We think they're not even considering it. We're wrong. There's much concerned about the family as we are, from a different paradigm, from a different set of eyes. And it does. I remember when I was a kid, my father, the last 2 years he was in civil service, they designed a computer program, and he helped him, four people, two teams of two, went to every Air Force base in the entire world. I mean, Japan, England, everywhere there was a base, they traveled to. And I used to get so worried, my father was going to fly. Oh, what if something happens to the plane? What if this? Of course, I never told anybody till I'm grown. And my mom says, I didn't even know you'd think about it. Didn't think anyone was thinking about it, but children worry about a lot of the same stuff we worry about. Did you get there safe?
You're right. Yeah.
They do. But
it never ends.
It's important for people like you that are involved in connecting people and stuff like the suicide hotline. I know I've worked with some veterans groups that have been through here and stuff. I mean, just knowing to call somebody instead of going all the way down yourself or down into the pit of despair or discouragement, reach out that lifeline and get some kind of help from somewhere, life management or one of the places that offer that. Yeah, it's important.
I think the hardest role to play with a suicide situation is those left behind.
Oh, yeah. It affects them so deeply. There is that whole longing of what could I have done? Mm-hmm. How could I have helped? What could I have said? What didn't I say? It affects everybody, and especially children. Yeah. Especially children. When a child is left behind, it's a big effect on them. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back.
Heroes Child is a nonprofit organization that is on a mission to help community heroes with the everyday cost of childcare. We know that heroes like our military personnel, first responders, and foster families need care for their children. Heroes Child awards these families scholarships that go to help pay their childcare tuition. Use the QR code on the screen to donate now or visit heroeschild.org today.
Hey, I'm here with Tricia Berry. We're having this great conversation, but let me steer it towards a little bit of our personal life, because I love you and Eric's travel. I mean, I look on Instagram, where did they go today? Is what I'm looking at. So tell me the most interesting place you've ever been, maybe that surprised you or you thought, well, this is different than I thought it would be.
So the central part of Spain. I didn't know what to expect, and I fell in love.
Yeah.
Yes, so Sevilla and Cordoba and north in San Sebastian. Absolutely loved the culture. I loved the families, loved the people, and that was a nice
So
surprise.
where were you at? I don't know anything about Spain. I know
Right, and I
know
didn't either
one
before I
person
went.
that goes quite often and stays at Julio Iglesias' house.
Okay.
But other than that, I hear all about the guy's house, but I didn't hear much about the country. Hot, cold. What's the climate like?
We were there in September, and it was very hot.
Yeah.
But we live in Florida, so it's fine.
Yeah. So for Florida,
We
it's
did-
easy. Huh? Were you in more of a rural area or urban area?
So oftentimes when we travel, I don't mind cities, and I do love big cities, but I really like being in small villages. So all of these smaller towns in Spain is kind of what made me love it. Same thing if you go into the western part of England, there's the Cotswolds, or then the northern part of Scotland, there's the small villages like Braemar, Glen Eagles area. I love small villages.
How do you do with the language barrier? Do you pick up your basics and just get
I
around?
just smile.
Yeah. Is it?
When I first started, traveling internationally with my grandparents, I was 16. We would maybe have a cheat sheet of a few words, but nowadays it's so easy to stand
With
there
the
with your
phone,
phone. It'll translate for you right there.
And now the new pods have instant translators.
That's right.
Have you tried that yet?
I haven't.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't tried it
I
yet
hope
either,
to.
but it sounds pretty neat. Yeah, they're supposed to be instantly as the people's talking now. I don't know how well it works, and I haven't talked to anybody that's used it yet, but it's interesting. So walk up with your pods and hear whatever they're saying and stuff. So Spain was what you thought the most beautiful or most interesting, or
Just the whole package. It was the full package.
just great,
The
huh?
culture and the people were just spot on for a lovely,
Yeah,
safe.
yeah.
It was
Food. You try different food.
Food.
Are you
yeah.
adventurous in food?
enough.
Yeah.
Adventurous enough.
You're not going to go there and order chicken nuggets.
No, but
Yeah.
I will if
Yeah.
I need to. I don't mind eating chicken nuggets.
Yeah, I know that's where Brandy would be lost, because it's like she's not eating anything strange or way out there or whatever.
Okay.
I'm not super adventurous. I'm not going to eat octopus. I don't want to.
Okay, yeah.
Stuff like that. What did I see on Anthony Bourdain that one night? They had blood soup. I don't think I could do it.
When
I
you
don't think I
try
could
black
do it.
pudding one time in England, you may enjoy that.
I don't
next time.
know. I don't know if I can do it. And Brandy would be a no. No, she is the take me somewhere where I can get some chicken nuggets.
I'll eat
I have
chicken
to
nuggets
survive.
too. It's fine.
Yeah. So any place that you've been that maybe was disappointing, or you didn't feel safe, or you didn't care for?
I keep my head on a swivel.
Yeah.
I'll say. Yeah. I will say the last time that our daughter and I went somewhere by ourselves, I had to really pay attention.
Where was you at?
Can I say that?
Yeah, you can say.
I was in Savannah,
Yeah.
Georgia, and it was a different feel from Charleston,
Yeah.
and that's what I was expecting.
Yeah.
Could have been that we were in the wrong areas,
Yeah.
right? But I didn't think so.
Well, I know there's
there's
a lot
to the
of that
Savannah
that's
people.
another-
I'm not putting your city down, because it's a wonderful city. But yeah, I felt like as a woman,
Yeah.
along
It kind of
with
has
my
that New
daughter,
Orleans feel. Savannah does.
It does.
Yeah. A little bit
still
gritty, a little bit
wonderful,
yeah.
a wonderful southern coastal town. But
Oh, we get it. Don't forget.
I had to pay
it's-
attention.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's a little bit gritty, a little bit party hard atmosphere.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that when we were there, and we thought the same thing. Is like, go down here and eat and stuff, but I don't want to be down here at midnight. It's
Right.
it's a little too much.
Right. So
A little too
Lauren and I
much.
were just smart.
Yeah, yeah. So like as far as America, continental United States, the go-to places be New York, I imagine.
I do love New York.
Has it changed a lot in the last few years?
I don't think so
I haven't
in the
been in a
last
couple
few
of
years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I knew that they were going through some changes.
True.
But I stay in pretty much the same areas, so that's not going to change much.
I stick with what I know.
Yeah, yeah.
Again,
Yeah.
keep my head on a swivel.
Yeah.
But yeah, my favorite place in the entire continental United States is 30 minutes north of here at Crystal Lake.
Yeah.
And so even though we do travel a lot and broadly, Crystal Lake is still my favorite place, and Eric knows that, and it's just very comfortable to be there.
Yeah.
And it's a very relaxing place for me. I really can.
So what about Asia? And have you been in any of there?
I haven't.
Japan,
But
China.
I
nothing.
wouldn't mind going in
Yeah.
the future.
You've been to Australia yet?
No.
See, there's a lot on your bucket list.
Oh, there's a lot.
That's-
Yeah.
I haven't been to either.
The
of these.
list is long.
Yeah, the list is long. I have a friend that just came back from Abu Dhabi, and I'm looking forward to hearing all about it because he said it was incredible, and that's a long way.
Long way.
That's a lot.
Can't go for just
That's-
6
Yeah,
days.
that's a lot of travel. I don't know about that. Have you been to L.A.?
No. Mm-mm.
No. Yeah, I haven't been either. I've been to California.
Right.
We went to Napa
Right.
and San Francisco
Yes.
and all that, but not LA. I want to go to LA. I haven't been up in the northwest, Seattle and all that. I want to do all that and see all that and just different.
Yeah.
We've done New York plenty of times and all that area, and it's beautiful. My daughter just moved to Boston, or
Okay.
just outside of
Oh,
Boston,
yeah.
so we're going to Boston in a couple
That's
of months
great.
and going to see all that. We missed the trip when the school went.
Okay.
That was during. I think it was during COVID.
It was during COVID,
They
that's
didn't,
right.
They didn't go, so I missed out on that one. And I told Brady when we went on the DC New York trip with Holy Nativity, I looked at the list of all the stuff we're going to go see, and I said, "There's no way we're going to go to this. Is a lot." And we went to every one of those
Everyone.
places, and I loved it. I loved it. I said I would have never planned a trip this crowded,
Yeah.
but I love it. I love all the stuff we've got to see.
Yeah.
And so when we go a little slower and stuff, and we're going to try to go to DC in a little bit because
yeah.
right now is a great time to
It
go.
is a great time to go.
I said it's a great time to go. So we're going to go see it. And
Let the snow melt a little bit.
yeah,
Take
yeah,
off.
let the snow melt. My daughter texted me this morning. She was looking at 3 feet of snow. She said, "Dad," she said, "our deck is about 3 feet high on the back of our house." She said, "That is the level you're seeing is the level of the snow." She said, "It's 3 feet deep." And she said, "And there's actually more snowing right now. It hasn't even begun to melt." She said, "I don't know what we're going to do." I said, "You're going to stay home.
Yeah.
You're just going to stay home for a few days." And she said her next door neighbor, they just moved up there, only been there a few months. Their next door neighbor came over and told them it's the worst snow they've had in 20 years. And I said, "That's the first winter you're there, so get it over with.
Yeah.
Just get it over with and
Yeah.
see."
Can't do anything about it.
Do y'all go skiing or anything like that?
We do enjoy skiing.
Where do you enjoy doing that?
We like Colorado.
Yeah.
Summit County, so Keystone, Breckenridge, that kind of thing.
Breckenridge, yeah.
Steamboat Springs to the north. You can fly into Hayden. Makes it
Yeah.
easy. I really enjoy.
Better than flying into Denver? Yeah.
because you'd have to drive about 2 hours west
So
out of Denver.
where is it? Where do you fly to?
Hayden is about 4 hours north of Denver, and its ski resort is Steamboat Springs.
Oh, I'll need to keep that in mind. So you fly directly from Atlanta to there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or you can fly into Eagle, and that's Eagle County, and that would be Vail,
Yeah.
Beaver Creek, and so that makes it easy too. Yeah, we enjoy.
So
skiing.
be my travel agent for just a
Okay.
moment, because it's part of graduation. We're talking about going to Europe.
Okay.
I've never been to Europe before, so where would I start? Where's the best place for me to
Classic.
go? My first trip.
How many days would you like to be
About
away?
a week. We're going to go about a week.
So if you could do 8 days, you could split it between London and Paris. And when you
Mm-hmm.
do that for your first trip to Europe, then
Yeah.
you're seeing the classics, and you do get to maybe start with London, so you can stay
Yeah.
in the English language, and then enjoy going to France.
And you just take a train from London to France, huh? What is it? A couple
China.
hours?
About
Yeah.
2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
That's what I would do. I'd pack
Okay.
in some history, and I'd pack in some fun nightlife.
Uh-huh. Do you fly from New York or Atlanta to London?
Wherever Delta will take me. So normally it is through Atlanta.
Yeah, just go from Atlanta straight across the pond over
That's
there.
right.
Great. So tell me about a little bit of what you do for a hobby besides working and helping out all these organizations. What do you do?
A hobby. Well, I do play tennis.
Yeah.
But Eric and I are very busy. We were raising teenagers. They're
Yeah.
busy themselves.
Yeah.
I just say that I get a break when I'm with my family.
Yeah.
Like that,
Yeah.
they are my break.
Uh-huh.
And so I enjoy being with them.
Go up there and cook, hang out, talk, visit.
Or even
Yeah.
just here with
Yeah.
our children. Just kind of
Yeah.
cocooning back
Yeah.
in and,
Kids will
and
keep you
being with
busy.
them.
They have their
do.
own schedule they throw on top of yours.
They do.
And it's like you got both of them to do.
They
It's
do.
like-
But I do play tennis. But I
Yeah.
would say that my respite is coming back home
Yeah.
each day
back on the farm.
and for a reset.
Yeah.
My family
good.
is my reset.
That's good.
Yeah.
What about reading? What are you reading these days?
I really enjoy historical fiction.
I do too. It's my favorite.
Yes, I like to learn
Yeah.
from things that have happened, but I also like to learn from things that really failed.
Yeah.
So I got on a long standing kick with World War II
Yeah.
and World
I
War
love
II
it.
history.
My favorite subject.
And then we've spent some time in the Keys, lobstering, things like that. So I spent about a year's worth with Ernest Hemingway,
yeah.
books that he wrote,
Yeah.
then historical fiction about him.
He was a character, wasn't he?
He was.
Yeah.
He was. And then from there, I kind of ended up in the Gilded Age because I needed a break from
Yeah.
old Ernest.
Yeah.
And so right now, I'm on the Gilded Age. I'm reading the second book in a series called The Davenports, and it takes place in the early 1900s.
Oh.
And in Chicago,
Yeah.
and it's helping me to see a different perspective
Yeah.
of the Gilded Age.
That's
so the
fun.
Davenport family were a black family, very wealthy in Chicago, still not that respected.
Really?
Yes, and so I like to know what worked back then to help turn the tide,
Yeah.
and what are we still lacking today.
That's fantastic.
Right. So
That's
they're
fantastic.
about to leave Chicago and go to Newport,
What's the name of the
Rhode
book?
Island, the Davenports.
I'm going to read it.
Yeah,
I'm going to read
there's
it.
two.
I just finished a book on the Astors and talking about the old history. You know,
Okay.
the original Astor being a trapper. You know, was started off with as a trapper and started buying up the coastline and stuff for his tanneries and his furriers and stuff like that. He began putting all that together and they start buying up land, which becomes New York.
Right.
You know, he's buying up this land on the river and it becomes New York and they become mega wealthy and just super interested in the history
Yeah.
of it. That it didn't start off big New York City. It started off as frontier.
That's right.
You know, and he
And
was right
around-
in the middle of it.
Right in the middle of it. And around that same time was the Commodore Vanderbilt.
Yes.
And that he started with his ferrying boat.
Yeah.
And
Shipping opium. Yeah, it's really,
That's
really,
right.
really what it was. Yeah.
and passengers along
Yeah,
with those.
yeah. And just developed
crates.
from there. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
But we can learn so much
It's
from
fascinating.
the good things and the bad things. Another one is called Fortune's Children. And that's
Oh.
about the Vanderbilt family
Yeah.
and how over time they lost.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
how that differed from the Rockefellers, that the opposite took
Yeah.
place. And so just a mindset of things can either you work towards, having a plan or you don't. And
I had a very, very wealthy person tell me one time that the tragedy of wealth is the first generation makes it, the second generation spends it, the third generation loses it.
yeah,
Because the third generation doesn't lose. They don't learn from the builders, they learn from the spenders.
that's right.
And that when the spenders raise you, you're raised to spend.
Right.
And when the builders raise you, you're supposed to be raised to build. So you have to be careful of that. I think you see a tragic story. The Astors was the same way. Eventually they lost it, and the Vanderbilts and all of them. And you look at these Elon Musk and Zuckerberg and all that tremendous wealth like we've never seen. Never seen the level of wealth we've seen, but what will that look like in 100 years?
Right.
Where does it go? How do people handle it? Did you read All the Light You Cannot See?
I did.
It's one of my favorite books.
I did, and that's
Of course,
a good one.
I'm a big John Steinbeck
Okay.
fan. I like his language, and I like that stuff. And there's just so many. I've read every World War II fiction book I think there is,
Okay.
and I love it.
I believe you.
It's a
Because once you
genre I
get
love,
started,
yeah.
it's you just want to
Yeah.
you want more, and you want to go to a different part of Europe that was in such turmoil. Another good one, if you like that, is called The Women. It's by Kristen
Yeah.
Hanna.
That's a great book.
That was amazing to read and learn more about that side of being a nurse. in
Vietnam. That's you don't see a lot on that, and especially
right.
not with women's story. It was a fascinating book. It really was, and she's a great writer.
She's a really good writer. Yeah.
All that Nightingale and all that. That's all.
The
good.
Nightingale,
Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah, good stuff. I like all that.
Yeah.
So what's next on your bucket list? What do you want to do that you haven't done?
I think right now I take it as it comes. I really do.
Yeah.
And if someone needs something, if they ask me to take part in something, I'm there
Yeah.
for it. I want to continue growing my role as an honorary commander at Tyndall Air Force Base. And I think our military presence in this area is important. And so I want to make sure that we are giving our Navy base and our Air Force base what they need. So protecting our Gulf training grounds over our Gulf is important. So I'm bringing that up because I work on different things on a state level and then a national level to make certain that our
We never want to lose that.
we don't. And even in the bays, when you talk
Yeah.
about derelict boats and you're getting close to Tyndall Air Force Base, what needs to happen? So I enjoy taking on a project like that and then connecting people with conversation
Yeah.
and getting something done.
Wow.
So I enjoy that. I like the mantra of live to give.
Yes.
So I will whenever something presents itself, if it's giving and making our community a better place,
Absolutely.
I'm going to do that.
That's
and
wonderful.
so, but in the interim, I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing and supporting our colleges and our
That's
hospitals.
beautiful.
We have a very, very, well-run pediatric dental
Yeah.
situation, and I love my husband and my kids. I just want to just keep moving forward, and with no major agenda. Let's just see what
And
happens.
any of the kids thinking about dentistry?
One is.
Oh, good.
One
Good.
is, but we'll
Good.
see.
We'll see,
I mean,
yeah.
they have to decide on their own. Eric
Yeah.
didn't know that he wanted to be a dentist until he really started thinking about it. But
Yeah.
we'll see.
It's a good thing.
Yeah.
I could talk to you all day. We've this 45 minutes has flown by, but
It did fly by.
We'll have to talk a little more sometime.
Thanks, John.
Thanks for being with us
Okay.
today. Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you.